You are now listening to Sir Ink's The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is only catered to those that are 18 and above and may not be suitable for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kink curious folk out there. My name is Sir Ink. I am back. Hello, everybody. We're going to jump right into my topic today, which is, I don't need her to be perfect. I need her to be perfect enough. And when I say perfect enough, what does that look like to me? It's unrealistic, in my opinion, to try to hold someone to be perfect. You know, like, this person has to have all the things on my list, you know, for me to be in a relationship. This person absolutely has to have everything that I want in a partner, correct? I'm not really seeking that. I don't think that's realistic. I think we set ourselves up for failure. But also, I also feel like what I'm looking for is not the perfect person that fits everything on my list. I'm seeking the perfect person that I can mold. The perfect person that is open enough that I can be able to put some things in them to help their progression and them help me. That's where I'm at with this. Too many times I feel like we are trying to seek something that's not realistic. You know, we're seeking perfection in other people, and we know that we're not perfect ourselves. You know, like, this person has to have this. You know, if you have a list of 10 things, in my opinion, like, well, if they hit at least 7 of those things, you can negotiate the other 3. Maybe the other 3, maybe there's a few things they can work on. Maybe there's a few things that they just can't. Again, like, i.e., if you have a height requirement, right? And then this person hits they check all these other boxes, but they don't quite check the height standard or requirement that you have, right? But maybe you're like, I can give on that because everything else is really kind of perfect. So I would, think about that. Stop trying to seek for the perfect partner and seek for a person that has the ability to grow, the ability in the room inside themselves for instruction, for expansion. This was the perfect partner to me. The perfect partner for me is someone who's open, someone that's willing to learn, someone who's not going to try to top from the bottom. That is my version of perfection. And, you have to give people grace, and we have to be realistic. And sometimes we put unrealistic expectations on people because we want them to fail. Because there's a lack of commitment that we have to someone or some situation. We really don't want that. We don't really want the responsibility of being able to have someone that looks to us, that we can instruct. It sounds good, but once you start getting in it, you're like, wow, this is work. Like, all relationships is work. But in the DS dynamic, it's a little more work. Actually, it's just more mental work for the dominant. But this is what it's about. I get excited about the mental work. Am I up for it all the time? No, not at all. But that's the reason why you implement certain things, so you can have a routine. And so that routine becomes, after a while, it's automatic. You don't have to talk about it. That keeps the relationship going in a upward and steady motion. And if you don't have those things, then whatever perfection that you have in your mind, you can't achieve anyway. Because you have to set rules, regulations, and guidelines, not only for the sub, but for you yourself as a dom. You yourself should know the things that are productive and counterproductive to relationships. And so it's a lot of responsibility to be a dominant. And I'll have another podcast on that. However, for this one, even if you're a sub, looking for the perfect dom is just unrealistic. For a dom, seeking the perfect sub is unrealistic. And if I see someone else online, through pictures, it all looks good. It looks like, oh, she's a perfect person, but I have no idea of what it took for her to get there, for that couple to get there. Nor do I know if it's actually real. It could just be Instagram and Facebook and pictures. Like, you have to know that everyone's relationship is their own. And focus on what you want. And focus on what you're trying to build. And stop chasing what other people have. Because what other people have may look good, but it may not necessarily fit what you're trying to accomplish. Maybe a look, yes. But as far as actually living a life, going out and doing things, how you get this person from the beginning, from where you started, to wherever you progress to, that is your own path. And you necessarily can't take that path with someone that you're dealing with. And like, you may have a path that you made it to a certain point with one person, but that path won't be the same if you're dealing with someone else, because everyone's different, everyone's needs is different, and everyone's mindset is different. Everyone's view of perfection is different, right? And a lot of people aren't seeking perfection, right? They're seeking this middle ground. They're seeking that ground that they're just trying to relate to somebody. They're just trying to have a steady partner. So if you put perfection on top of it, you just up the ante on pressure. Which, again, when you have unrealistic expectations, you more times than not actually set yourself up for failure. And so to avoid failure is to have realistic expectations, understand what your concept of perfection is. Sometimes perfection is just having a willing partner for a lot of people. Some people are chasing perfection. They have these kind of perfect world views and things of that nature. I just think sometimes people with those kind of perfect world views can lead themselves to disaster, because you're trying to hold people to a standard that, regular human beings just can't maintain. A perfect persona, a perfect regiment, a perfect anything. It's just not realistic. But online, it can look perfect. But what did it take people to get to that scenario that you see? That they're in a club and the dom is, performing different sessions in front of people. Or, you see this dominant and the sub out and, he's walking her with a chain. Or, you see a sub on her knees serving or allowing herself to be used as a table, or whatever the case may be. We have to take into account that these things aren't easy. These things aren't easy. It is not perfection. It's people willing to work with one another. But what do you think? Leave your comments below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, peace. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always email me at sirinq09@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace.